What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video from PremPods. Today we're going over Gameweek 9 in the Barclays Premier League, English Premier League, same shit. First game that we've got, kicking off on a Friday. First Friday fixture that we've had for a while. 8 o'clock kickoff. Leicester host Nottingham Forest.
Leicester v Nottingham Forest, mate. What do you think's going to happen in this one?
I've gone with a draw for this one. Again, opening up similar to last week, 2-2.
Bosh!
Their history between each other is quite mixed. They've nearly got as many draws. They've each got as many draws and wins against each other in recent years, anyway, at least. And that could involve championship games and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I'm just not too sure on both teams. Both teams won on the weekend, and they're the type of team that don't really follow it up. So I'm just going with a draw. It's not too much to be said about it, but it'll be a good, interesting game, open game. And I think there will be goals for both teams.
Mate, I've said the exact same thing.
Bosh!
I've said Desmond. Straight away, I looked here, I went 1-1, and I went, Premier League this year's got loads of goals. 2-2.
Hey, 2-2 if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Forest got a few players that should be coming back, that got sent off. A few players that are probably injured, that are probably trying to work their way back into the team. I don't know whether the manager will try and push them for this game, because it's not like a massive game. Still a game they need to try and get a point from, I think. If they nick 3, it'll be brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone with draw because, like I always say, in loads of these games, it's hard to pick someone when you look at a team sometimes.
Yeah.
Even when you go through the stats.
Yeah.
Like these lot have played each other a few times. I think even in the Championship years ago they've played each other. Like I think the late 90s was when I was looking at some of the Sofa score stats when these lot have played each other. So it's tough even when you look through the stats, which is why I've gone 2-2.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's very tight. I would say Forest probably have a better Premier League team. Standard average, as in the average standard of their player, I believe is higher than Leicester's.
Fair enough.
I'd
agree.
But yeah, that doesn't always play out. And Leicester get back at home after having a good win.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Friday night football, mate, under the lights.
Dodgy one. Here's a dodgy one.
Here's a dodgy one. Let's go on to the next fixture. The next game, we have got Aston Villa hosting Bournemouth. The team that just beat my team.
Yep.
And you know what always happens when a little team, or a littler, I don't want to be rude, because they definitely deserved it. When a smaller club plays a bigger club and then they go away next week. I have said Villa are going to beat them 3-1, mate.
Bosh!
I honestly think they'll score, but I just think Villa will show them. Like, Emre knows how to manage a squad. Like, it'll bring players off at half-time. In Champions League games, it'll bring players off at half-time in cup games, so that for these games, he can leave them out for 90 or leave them out for 70, so that they can get a few goals.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, very, very good. I told you, if they come to play, it'll be a game, mate. And they caused problems at the back, which is why we got a red card and why they won the game, ultimately. They were the better team. But I just think away from home, that was at home. I just think away from home against Villa, crazy stats from Villa last season at home.
Yeah.
So I can only see one thing happening here in it, and that's a Villa win, from my opinion.
I am going against the grain. I'm going 2-1 Bournemouth.
Bosh!
I believe
this is my mother.
similar to what you said, but actually, well, kind of the opposite of what you said, actually. I think they could actually use the Arsenal win as a good springboard to kick on. Seem to have a good understanding of what they want from each other in this team. And personally, yeah, I'm still waiting for the kind of Villa bubble to semi-burst slightly. I think it can happen.
Well, because of the chat, what?
Just with the extra games that they're playing this season. Yeah, they can't keep relying on Duran coming on and scoring worldies and winning games. It's not really always going to happen. And this result has happened a couple of times in recent years with these two teams. Obviously, both teams in different situations to what they are now.
Fair enough.
But history finds a way of repeating itself.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, it would be for me. It would be a shock, but yeah, Premier League, mate. They're a good team. They're a good team. They're definitely a good team at Bournemouth. On to the next one, G-Tech Stadium. I always ask you about this one because I'm never 100% sure, but I think it is definitely a G-Tech Stadium. Brentford against Ipswich. How do you see this one playing out?
Nice and simple, 2-0.
2-0.
Nice and simple. Low scoring game, I would imagine. Wasn't far off the Everton result against Ipswich last week, but they didn't manage to score. And I do think Brentford are probably better defensively than Everton.
Okay.
Everton are a more defensive team, but I think Brentford are better defensively. And they're back at home, whereas Everton were away. Ipswich had the home advantage, didn't take advantage of it. Yeah, I think nice and easy, clean 2-0 win from Brentford again, following up from what Everton done to them last week.
Fair enough, mate. I have gone near enough the same, but I've given Ipswich a goal. I like giving them a goal. I think it boosts confidence for the games that they play at home.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that the manager will be like in training, lads. We grabbed one away in the Prem.
Yeah.
We've got our home support next week. Let's have a go. So it's one of them things that kind of boost up the team in it, which is why I like trying to give them a goal.
Yeah.
Because then it just makes the Premier League more competitive all round anyway. Because when anyone goes to Ipswich, they're up for it. And so should everyone be in the Premier League. But I just think the gap, like you're saying, will start to show probably after Christmas. But I think I said 2-1.
Bosh.
So I don't really disagree with anything you're saying. I'm just giving him a goal, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm saying that. I mean, I gave Ipswich a goal away at Etihad, and I'm not giving him a goal against Brentford away. But yeah, again, different situations.
Football's
seem to be conceding to everyone. Doesn't matter who they play. They seem to be going 1-0 down against everyone.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But Brentford for me are just like lacking something. Like Wissa's not really. Wissa's first touch has been lacking. But I just think they're definitely. Well, if they don't string it together against Ipswich, I think they've got more quality to beat them. It's kind of what we're saying here.
That's
really.
what I think. Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
I think they'll create more chances and eventually
they'll get
a goal.
Yeah, fair enough. On to the fourth game of Gameweek 9. We've got Brighton against Wolverhampton Wanderers. What do you reckon?
Interesting game. Went against Brighton against Newcastle last week, and they proved us wrong. I was 30 seconds away from Wolves and City being a draw, which I was fuming about, honestly. Especially how it happened, but yeah. I think
not more fuming than Gary O'Neill.
Oh mate, yeah, for sure. But I think that's gonna kind of knock them a bit because it was a good performance. They were unlucky. They had good chances. They caused City problems and defended as a whole very well.
Well, the thing is, if they were better in them positions, it would have been 2 quite quickly. No.
Yes, it should have. Yeah.
So,
but again, I think if they went 2-0 up, City would have probably turned it around 3-2 in the first half or something. Just I don't know, man. They seem to play to the situation.
Fair enough.
Sarr was brilliant in that game, saved them time and time again as well. So City should have been 3 or 4. They could have easily been 3 or 4-1, 3 or 4-2 with the Semedo chance at half time. But Sarr was brilliant. How often can he do that sort of thing? Not too sure. I think that result could have just knocked them, just the way that they lost the game in the end. I'm going 3-1 Brighton. So 3-1 a bit there.
Well, that's good, mate. So analysis, mate. So insight. I have actually gone for a bit of a shock here. Not a Wolves win, but I've gone for a 1-1 draw.
Bosh.
Brighton for me, although they're doing well, they're like against Spurs. They came back again. You're right. With City, they play to the occasion, and I think Brighton do sometimes as well. Like they'll go 2-0 down, they come back 2-2. They might nip the game, they might draw, but anyone 2-0 down in football that comes back to get a point or 3 has done insanely well.
For sure.
But I just think sometimes they play down as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Like I'm not saying Wolves are a bad football team. I'm just saying to the occasion where you think Brighton would turn up and win 3 or 4-0 at home, they just won't click. Which is why I think it's going to be 1-1. Like, I'm starting more now that we've lost last week to put different predictions where I think a team's going to smash someone. Like, I would have said 4-5-0 Arsenal. Yeah. And then they beat us 2-0. So, I think any time where I think, Brighton should win this easily, I'm going for draws or the other team just to try and shake it up, really.
That was kind of my thought process with the Bournemouth Villa game as well. We're going to start seeing them type of results pop up. Start the season.
Because it's games played.
And it is exactly. Everyone's finished and the teams are there and the bigger teams have consistently been performing, to be fair. But yeah, it's starting to come into that part of the season now where People were picking up injuries. You've been playing Champions League games. You've played maybe some League Cup games as well.
People getting suspended.
People getting suspended, of course. Yep. Don't know how you're getting 5 or 6 yellows in that, or obviously a red.
Red, innit? Yeah, you're gone. And if it's a harsh one, it's a few games.
Yeah.
So you can get suspended and be out.
But yeah.
On to the next one, mate.
Interesting.
It is getting very interesting. And we're only nine rounds in, mate. It's pretty good. Halfway through this game week, we have got Manchester City playing the Saints, Southampton. Another 3 o'clock kickoff. I think this is the last of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Etihad, mate. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about them that much. Southampton, for me, still not doing enough. I've given them a goal. I've said 3-1 City.
Bosh.
Yeah.
Very fair. I've gone with big result this week, 5-2 City. I
Bosh.
think they can really put Southampton to the sword here,
And destroy them.
to be honest. Southampton defensively looks shaky, and if Haaland just fancies it, he's going to pull their defenders from pillar to post, in my opinion, and probably get another Premier League hat-trick. Which, again, that's free. There's your 3 goals there.
Yeah.
Immediately. I think, again, but based on what City have been doing, I'm completely with you on Southampton getting a goal. And I think just because of how the game might end up, I can see them getting 1, maybe even 2. City just being a bit lackadaisical, and then just, concede after the game has already been won, basically. That's how I see it. But yeah, Southampton, yeah, man. I mean, what can you say?
Not doing enough. Play around with it too
Yes.
much at the back, and they ain't got that much quality. So it's like you're good. Like it's fine to do it now and again. Try and play out from the back if someone's making runs and you can break through the midfield. But if you're just always going to play out from the back and your midfield and strikers are standing still, how are you going to get out?
If they do that at the Etihad, I probably it'll be 3-0 by half time.
Yeah. I completely agree. Not much to say on that one. We're both saying 3 points for City. On to the next one. One of your favourite clubs, Everton Football Club against Fulham Football Club.
Good game, actually. Both teams not doing too bad.
Yeah, these both normally do.
Everton starting to pick up their form again. They've had some good results where they should have won the games, and they have, which is very important. This is a difficult one, actually. I'm going to go with 1-1.
Going 1-1?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 1-1. Not really too sure. Yeah, it's going to be a tight game, I think. Fulham, for me, are the better team. They've got the better squad of players. But Everton, they're ticking along now. And it doesn't matter who you play against. Winning games is always going to bring confidence. And scoring goals is going to bring confidence to the players and the team. And not conceding as well.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's important for the defenders and the keeper. Yeah, so just 1-1, to be honest.
Fair enough, mate. I've gone massive scoreline to Fulham. I've gone 3-1 to Fulham.
Bosh.
You picked out the point that Fulham are definitely a better footballing team. I think that their attacking prowess will be too much for Everton's defence to deal with. If we were playing a game of top trumps, their attack would beat their defence, in my opinion. Which is why I've said 3-1. And I think Tarkowski's good. I do like their defence, but I just think the way that sometimes Fulham start to play the free-flowing football, Iwobi, ESR, there's loads of people in their midfield that pick up the ball and drive forward as well.
Yeah.
Rao up top as well. Jimenez can get in behind, and he will pretty much. This is why I'm thinking it'll be 3-1. Is if he doesn't score 1 or 2, he's taking up Tarkowski's time so that someone else gets in. Do you get what I mean? And Everton's attack for me is too soft. If they play Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he ain't doing nothing against Fulham's centre backs. He ain't doing niche. He ain't winning headers.
That side of things for sure.
So 1-1 I could see, but I'm confident in the London boys going up north and smashing them.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Fair. That's fair.
On to the next game.
Can't really talk too much on that one, to be fair.
Nah, it's a decent game. It should be a good game of football. Be cold. On to the next one. This is up there.
This is
second best game of this game week in both of our opinions.
Definitely.
Chelsea playing against Newcastle, Stamford Bridge, 2 o'clock on the Sunday. What do you reckon, mate?
Good game.
Very good game.
Back in Chelsea, for sure. Just slightly though. I'm going to edge it 2-1. I think Chelsea was going to nip past them by. Yeah, they would have been kind of disappointed from the Liverpool game on the weekend previously. I never really thought we was in any danger of losing the game personally. I always thought they could have drawn. That's what I always thought was the best result for Chelsea in that game. Kind of showed, in my opinion. People were having their own opinions and stuff, but I just never really felt when watching the game like we were in too much danger to be honest. The goal came 2 minutes after half time. It was just straight through the two of the centre backs. Them goals happen
There's nothing you can do really.
every
Innit?
now and then. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've gone 2-1 Chelsea. Still shaky on Newcastle's away form, and yeah, just don't know where they're at really.
I've gone 3-1 Chelsea. Along the same lines as you. I've just given Chelsea another goal.
Yeah.
Again, one of them games where I do think both teams will score. But it's whoever really wants it on the day.
Yeah.
That is, we can predict all we want, innit? But they're going to have to turn up. So in my head, Chelsea have got the better players to go and do the job, definitely at home.
Yeah.
Again, one of them fixtures. If Newcastle are at home, might give it to Newcastle.
Yeah.
But it's just the away form.
This game is one in midfield, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, this is one in the midfield.
Newcastle. I think Gordon plays up top for Newcastle because Isaac is injured, which, they just look. They look a lot worse than they do with Isaac in the team.
Yeah.
And Gordon as number 9 is not good enough for me.
No.
Not good enough. He doesn't finish anywhere near enough of the amount of chances that he does get. He could probably play number 9, to be fair, for some team, but he's never going to be as clinical as you would want a number 9 to be. Obviously, he's just filling a gap right now.
Yeah,
this is the team that they're going to have to play with.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I agree with you. I think it will be one in midfield, and I think Chelsea's midfield is stronger.
Yeah, I mean that's where I'm kind of, because I don't know what midfield Chelsea are going to play. You never know what team Chelsea's going to play, really. But I think Newcastle, if they've got a chance, it's dominating midfield, being aggressive, getting around the ball. Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Longstaff, them three. It's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting. I just think ultimately Palmer, Caicedo, and Enzo, even though I take the mick out of them, they will be able to flip the ball around this midfield. That's what I think could happen. I think the same could happen for Guimaraes, and that it just depends who turns up.
People are getting lifted on both sides of.
Red card in this one?
Very potentially, yes. Very, very potential.
A lot of yellows, that's for sure. A lot of yellows.
Yeah, you can almost guarantee 3 centre midfielders will get yellows in this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'll be a decent game. 2:00 on a Sunday. I think there's another 2:00 on a Sunday. London derby.
This one,
London
it's
derby.
good that this is on the same time because
it's a bit boring. I think. Crystal Palace against Tottenham. God. How do you see this one going, mate?
I'm going with 2-0 Tottenham.
Bosh.
Kind of was going towards 2-1. I think Palace can score, but they still haven't won a game in the Premier season. Palace,
Mad.
Home or away, they still haven't won a game, and this is not a great game for them to actually get one. But again, to be fair, saying that, Tottenham being Tottenham, they probably would be the team to give Palace their first win of the season at home. I can see that. I see that. See that happening. But I'm back in Tottenham. I just think they've got the momentum with them at the moment. Palace need a massive turn in fortunes. Not scoring enough, not creating enough, really. And Tottenham are going to be completely opposite, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've gone 2-1 Tottenham. I've given Palace a goal because ultimately I do think Eze will probably get through and score, or they might score from a corner. They've got big players in that team.
Yeah.
Although they don't look big sometimes when there's a few players out. But yeah, ultimately I think Spurs will have enough. Palace, I can't believe they still haven't won a game. That's insane. Like, for all the attacking players they've actually got, that's insane.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. And you're right. Hoping that you're going to get from this game would be very Spursy for them to give them 3 points, but I can't see it happening. I can't see them being Spursy this week. I think they'll get over the line.
I can see it. I can definitely see it, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
No. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's definitely a possibility. It's not out of the realm. Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. Anyway,
we can imagine it, mate. We can imagine it. On to the next one, the penultimate fixture of Gameweek 9. We've got West Ham against Manchester United.
Another 2:00.
Another 2:00. 3. You got
on Sunday.
2 to pick from, basically, and I think there's only one that you're going to pick, which is Chelsea Newcastle.
Yeah, but this game could be good.
This game could be very good. West Ham do normally show up against United for about 70 minutes, and then they forget how to play football normally, and then United somehow either get an equaliser or nick the game. in my opinion, I actually think West Ham are going to see this through. I think they're going to take a 2-0 early lead. And then United are going to try and come out strong, get one goal, but ultimately not be good enough. So I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
Bosh.
I'm going with another draw this week.
Here we go.
This is
We've got loads of draws.
I have actually. I'm going with 1-1. I've just
Bosh.
seen a little pattern, which could just be nonsense, but it's interesting anyway. I'll say.
What's the pattern?
The last 2 games, West Ham at home. These are all West Ham being at home, by the way. So West Ham was 2-0, they won, and they won 1-0.
Okay.
That's the last 2. 2 before that, Man United won 2-1 and 3-1. So West Ham won 2 games at home, United have won 2 games away.
Yeah. Well, 2 draws.
Then it's West Ham 2 wins again.
Okay.
And then it's where am I? Yeah, then it's a draw. Just squeezed into there.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking
It's got to be a draw squeezed in
I
here.
think it's going to get back to a draw again, probably, yeah.
Fair enough. It is probably we're all probably binary code anyway, so it's got to go back to a 1 and it's got to go back to a 0. So
yeah, we always know United play close. There's always only going to be a goal in the game. Difference.
Yeah.
Whether they win 2-1, win 1-0, 3-2, whatever it is, it's going to be tight. And it's normally just 1 goal, unless they're getting battered by, a decent team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could have easily gone 2-1 either way, but just going 1-1, just because odd patterns.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough, mate. On to the last game of the game week, where we'll probably spend about double the time we've spoken about the other games. Hopefully not. We'll try and keep it as fair as possible. I'm actually going to keep you entertained here.
Here we go.
And I have said 2-1 Liverpool.
Bosh.
Because I'm playing with my head this week, yeah? I'm playing with my head. And even if we win, I don't care about losing the points. So I'm going with you lot to try and get some points on this leaderboard. And I think if you are going to win, it will be 2-1. And it will be a penalty.
This is you doing the classic, I'll bet against my team. So if we win the game, that's brilliant.
Buzzing, yeah.
And if we don't, I'll win the bet.
Yeah. Classic, innit? You win, innit? You've got to
draw.
play the game right in this life, innit? You've got to try and...
draw, I suppose.
You can't just always be sad. I'm trying to be happy in both outcomes.
Some way.
So I'm backing Liverpool here, but in reality, I hope we smash you 4-0. But it's not going to happen because of the players that are out, the injuries that we've got, Arteta's failures against Liverpool. Sometimes he's a bottle job. He definitely riled up the crowd that time and we got battered.
Yep.
So, yeah, you haven't really done well at the Emirates against us in recent years, but you've always come and nicked a draw sometimes. You've won a couple of games as well in further years, or further away years from now. But yeah, I honestly just think you lot are going to win this. I think Saka's coming back. The only thing I would say that might lean towards a draw, 1-1 or 2-2, would be if Jota doesn't play, because Jota does love,
Fair.
and he's pretty good at winning pens and getting up for headers as well.
Do you know what? So. Yes, that's true. Interestingly, I think if Nunes starts, because there's no Saliba as well, we've got to remember. It's interesting to see how you're going to set up. Are you going to go 3 centre-halves, 2 full-backs, 2 wing-backs, 3 in midfield, that sort of setup? Or are you going to stay at 4 at the back and just put someone centre-back? In which case, who would you play centre-back? Calafiori? And then you play Zinchenko left back.
That would be
Timber still out.
That would be her. Yeah, he won't be back. I don't think. He'll
so yeah, it's just kind of working out who's going to play where.
Yeah.
First of all, and in any case, let's say it's Ben White and Gabriel, centre back. I'd be relishing that. If I'm Nunes or Jota, I'm looking at them and just seeing what teams done to them previously when they were a centre back pairing, and in a physical game they just got pulled to shreds.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how. Obviously, Gabriel is very different to that now, but he got in before he was getting too much into the
scraps,
grabbing and stuff, and just not actually defending. You're just scrapping someone basically. So I'm going 3-1 Liverpool.
Bosh.
I'm going 3-1 Liverpool. I'm backing the team. I think this is a brilliant time to play Arsenal with the situation.
Definitely.
If Saka doesn't play as well, especially, I think our chances are massively increased. It's always a weird game, honestly. Similar to that I was saying last week with the Chelsea game. I fancy us, but I could easily see a draw.
Yeah,
Wouldn't be surprised.
yeah.
And this is the type of game
It's
where
a
it would
sketchy game, man.
like
It's a
we might
sketchy
just
game.
make it odd for no reason. Like it's not a great team that you'll put out. It's not your best team anyway.
No.
And we still just might make it tight.
Is it your best team? Is anyone out from you lot? Well, if Jota don't play,
Probably. But,
so then
maybe
yeah, it's
Everton,
gonna be.
you could say.
Yeah, but we haven't got the players to actually get in on goal to beat Kelleher. So
I would imagine it's our strongest team that we would play at the minute.
So yeah, this is looking.
But yeah, I think interestingly as well, another point just quickly, sorry. If Jones and Szoboszlai play in midfield, we could very much chuck this game. When this is a time we should be looking and saying this is a brilliant time to play Arsenal and win and win well. But if them two play in midfield, I think your midfield can overrun us. It's just whether your forward players actually do anything.
Yeah, can get through and actually finish.
You score by set pieces.
Yeah.
Cause enough problems. Like the midfield, you win that battle, got control over it, so we can't really get the ball to our attacking players.
Yeah.
You get it in attacking areas, win corners and whatever, score from your set pieces. Like,
do you know honestly what I think this game comes down to, and it's come down to this a lot in years gone by, is a mistake. Someone's making a mistake early. Yeah, it might be 1-1 all the way up until the 80th or 85th minute, and then someone makes a mistake, or someone makes a mistake early, and that just changes the game. Either by a red card or pass back, own goal, something stupid, innit?
Oh, you lot with your dark arts and your time wasting, you might be.
Let's see, innit? Mate,
just don't kick the ball away, innit?
Yeah, well, we got to learn, innit, really? If we don't learn, then... But yeah, I'm being humble this week.
Yeah.
Because I've had to be humbled by our centre-back getting sent off against Bournemouth and players that are injured.
Mine is an optimistic scoreline, though. I will put it out there. I'm not confident on 3-1 at all. Because I think the game could easily go different directions based on what the midfield is and based on you play it in defence.
If you were actually going high IQ move, you'd have went 2-1 Arsenal.
Nah.
Just because to battle against the fact that I've gone 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't
say it now. Don't say it now, because if we score 3 or 4, you'll regret it. I don't see it either. But you can't say it can't happen.
That team, it ain't really been that team this season.
Honestly. No, not on the score sheet.
Winning games, innit?
Yeah, win games.
Winning games,
just about
decent, but not like smashing teams.
No, definitely.
Like the Villa game, that could have gone either way.
Oh yeah,
with chances being. Do you know what I mean? But you still won 2-0
somehow,
which looked good on a scoreline.
Somehow, mate. Somehow.
And I don't think you'll stop us from scoring. I think, and I don't.
Doubt it.
I'm not convinced that we won't stop you from scoring either. That's the only problem.
That's what I'm saying. Both teams are scoring, but who's going to score the second and third? That's up to the teams, isn't it?
Looking forward to this one massively, but also not because I don't like to see Arsenal going further down the table. I want us two to be competing.
Yeah, but when you play these games, you want your team to win, innit?
100%.
You have to win these games, innit? You don't have to just forget that
again. That's why I kind of don't really. I'm not looking forward to it too much because you don't have full strength. It's not your best team going against our best team.
Yeah, that's the worst when that happens, isn't it? It's boring, isn't it?
So it's a bit like
I get you.
Kind of have that excuse of we didn't have Saka.
No, but the thing is, we're still Arsenal. That's what a lot of fans forget.
Yeah,
you're still representing Arsenal, and that's the team we've got, innit?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the team.
But again, we kind of play to that situation. I feel like we would perform better playing against the best team.
The better team, yeah. You're 100%
rather than, I don't know, man. We're going to see. We're going to find out.
Very soon.
Definitely some interesting games this week. 4:30 Sunday. Can't come quick enough.
That's it, mate. We're nearly there, mate. We'll be there in a second.
Yeah. But that wraps it up for this week.
Another
very interesting few games that we've got. Only like 3, as we were saying, that we kind of like. But again, there's some other good games in there for sure. Prem always brings up some sort of surprises. So we'll be looking forward to it. Starting on Friday with Leicester against Forest and finishing with Arsenal against Liverpool on Sunday, 4:30.
That's it.
That wraps it up. Thanks again from wherever you're tuning in from. We'll see you again soon and take care.